Hi, welcome back to Aurelia Renee TV. So glad to have you with us. Today we're going to talk about a topic that may be a little deep. And initially I was going to do two different videos, but I'm going to talk about both of the topics in this one single video. One topic is going to be about the non-custodial parent paying child support, and the next topic is going to be about not using your children as a pawn. So we understand that children are here because of adult decisions, whether adults wanted the child or whether adults did not want to become impregnant or did not want to become a mother and father at the time the child was conceived. However, the child was conceived in birth. Children did not have any say in that decision. And nowadays, there's many ways that people can take care of their health and their health related to birthing children without ever having to have a child. And that's men and women alike. So let's assume something came up and you have a child and the child is here. Whether or not you wanted the child, it is your child. And I know some people feel like, well, I didn't want the child. This person decided to have the child, or I didn't want the child. And, I have the child. But if you have the child has to be financially supported. So I had a conversation and someone was feeling like, why should I have to financially support my child? Because the child cannot financially support his or herself. So someone has to be the adult and financially support the child. So if the child is living with the mother, then the father will be the financial support of the child. If the child is living with the father, then the mother will be the financial support of the child. But the child has to be financially supported. So if somebody disagrees with this or can tell me why this is even a topic of disagreement, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. I would love to know why it is controversial for the non-custodian parent to believe they should not have to care for their child. Now, some people say, well, this person is not using the money to care for the child. They're using the money for themselves. But okay, let's argue that you may have a point. Does your child have a roof over his or her head? Who paid for that roof? Does your child have a bedroom? If the non-custodial parent didn't have the child, then the extra bedroom wouldn't be necessary. Does your child eat food every day? Who pays for the food? And somebody might say, well, they use government food program. But still, is that enough food to carry through the month? Does that food take you through? So somebody is paying for the child to eat. Does your child have clothing on their back? Does your child have shoes on their feet? Does your child have the money for school activities and trips? Does your child have the money for medication when they get a cold and they need cold medicine or they need other medicine? What else does your child have, that someone paid for? So while you're thinking the custodial parent is not using the money for the child, ask yourself, how is the child getting the things that the child needs? I definitely highly recommend that people learn to be okay with the responsibility of their children. And if you're not okay, let me advise you before you have some or have any more to do what it takes not to have the kids that you don't want to have to pay for. Now, for the custodial parent, are we using the child as a pawn? Are we using the child to get back at the non-custodial parent because he or she have moved on with his or her life? And now the person is seeing someone new. And so now because you're upset because that person is no longer with you, you want to use that child as a pawn? Because if that's happening, rest assured that is wrong to do. Children need a mother and a father. If that non-custodial parent is not a danger to your child or a danger to you or a danger to society, then that non-custodial parent has a legal right and has a moral right and has a right to be involved with the child. Don't use your child as a pawn, because you could do it from 1 to 18. And some children may grow up hating that non custodial parent, but that child might also grow up hating you for keeping them away from their parent. Whenever you have a child with someone, that mother and that father are equally parents to that child. And so when you get ready to be with that man or be with that woman, think about and think long and think hard and think truthfully and think honestly about, is this someone that I want to entrust with being a parent to my child? Because guess what? Whether you want a child or not, if you lay down with a person, there is a possibility that that person can have your child. There's a possibility that that person can be the mother or the father of your child. And it's nothing more tragic than all the negative things we say about that woman or that man after this child come into the life. Oh, I don't want her to be the mother of my child. She's not qualified. She's this, she's that, she's a street, she's da 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 da. But did you consider that when you laid down with this woman to make this child? Oh, he's a scrub, he's a bum, he's no good, he's a womanizer, he's blah, blah, blah. Did you consider that when you laid down with this man to have a child? And now the courts are enforcing orders for the non-custodial parent to be able to see their child, because the courts understand the importance of family integration, and they are making sure that that is occurring. So please, good people, think about, how are we treating our non-custodial parent? And non-custodial parent, think about how you're treating the custodial parent. Think about it. Treat the parents with respect. Treat the parents with courtesy, dignity, kindness. Treat the parents in a way that it's not a struggle every time your name come across the phone, like, oh God, I got to deal with this person again today. Let's learn how to just love like God said love. Love covers a multitude of faults and sins. Love will help it make it an easier process. Love. But fathers and mothers, be in your child's life. Your child needs you. And when you refuse to be in your child's life, that child suffers years of brokenness that is unrepairable sometimes without strong help from a professional. So let's go ahead, fathers and mothers, and be in your children's life. Hey, you don't like the guy, but he's an okay guy, but you don't like him for whatever reason, because he was a cheater, because he was a person that a womanizer, whatever. Then there are ways that your child can still be in relation with their parent without you even having to be involved. You can get a custodian, a guardian. You can have your mother, your father, your sister, your brother take the child to see the non-custodial parent. But we want our children to be taken care of, because when we don't take care of our children, the streets take care of them, or they think the streets do. The streets don't love them, but the streets make them think they love them, and they're looking for the love they're missing from us. And so they go out in those streets, and there's no telling where it goes from there. So let's start. Don't feel guilty. If you didn't have it all right together before, let's get it together now. Go ahead. Tell me what you think in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.